Okay, we're going to take a look at writing equations. So as usual, you're going to go ahead and make a tab, but you can make this one a little bit thicker, so you can make it about, I don't know, 9 lines. So count 9 lines, cut it to the corner, to the margin, and then down. And then you're going to write graphing and writing linear functions. Graphing and writing linear functions. Then go ahead and take the 2 sheets of paper that you picked up for me and cut it so that it fits inside your notebook. So that's what I'm doing right now. And again, if you didn't pick up these 2 sheets of paper, you're still responsible for copying it down. So you'd have to copy down everything you see on this page. So go ahead and cut it so it can fit. And keep in mind, you want to see the tabs on the right. I can write linear equations given the slope and the y-intercept. So if the slope is 1/3, the y-intercept is 1/3. It's -3, excuse me. So we're going to go down to where it says slope-intercept form, because I'm being given the slope and the intercept. Y equals mx plus b. M is the slope, b is the y-intercept. So if you're given the slope, so you go ahead and write your equation y equals mx plus b. You're given the slope, which is m, which is equal to 1/3. And you're given the y-intercept, which is plus b, which is equal to -3. So all you do is replace the letters with the numbers. So you're going to get y equals the slope, which is 1/3, x, plus b, which is the y-intercept, which is -3. And that's it. That's all there is to it. So I can write linear equations given the slope and the y-intercept. What if you're given standard form? Now standard form has basically an x and a y. You go to standard form, ax plus by equals c, where a, b, and c are constants. You get y by itself, rewrite the terms on the right side, divide every term by what's brought in the y, and you simplify. So we've already done this, but we're going to go ahead and do it again. So standard form, so you write 4x minus 2y equals 14. Draw my river. You're getting y by itself on one side, so we're going to take that 4x to the other side. When you take that 4x to the other side, it's going to become minus 4x. So -2y equals 14 minus 4x. Alright, then I'm going to go ahead and divide every single thing by -2 to get y by itself. So the -2's cancel out. I'm going to get y equals 14 divided by -2 is -7, and then -4 divided by -2 is positive 2x. Rewrite it with x on the left hand side, y equals 2x minus 7. So I can write linear equations given now a point and a slope. Okay, a point and a slope. So turning back to my notes, a point and a slope. See how it says point slope form, a point and a slope. So point slope form, y minus y1 equals mx minus x1, where y1 and x1 are coordinates and m is a slope. So y, write it down, so y minus y1 equals mx minus x1. And all you're going to do is replace the points in there. The listening check, color in the O's in the word slope on the left hand side, both the word slope. Alright, so -1 and 8, that's going to be x1, y1, because that's the x and the y, and then the slope is -2. So y minus y1, which is 8, equals m, which is -2, x minus x1, which is -1. And then we're going to go ahead and just rewrite this, taking care of those negatives. So y minus 8 equals -2, x plus 1. Now what are you going to do? Of course, you're going to get in my house, -2x minus 2, and then the other side, y minus 8. Okay, now what? Take the 8 to the other side, or the -8 becomes positive 8. So you're going to get y equals -2x, -2 plus 8. Tigers meets Trojans. Trojans win by 6. And there we have it. Y equals mx plus b again. I can write linear equations given 2 points. Again, 2 points is just the same as 1 point in the slope, with one difference of you have to first find the slope. So slope is a change in y over the change in x. So 4 to 8, how does that change? 4 to 8, how does that change? From 4 to 8, I add 4. Then 3 to 5, how does that change? From 3 to 5, I add 2. So I add 4 on y and I add 2 on x. So the change in y is positive 4. The change in x is positive 2. So positive 4 divided by positive 2 is equal to 2. So now that I have my slope, it actually becomes like the question above. It's a point and a slope. So now I have 2 points. I just pick one. So I want to pick the first one since it's just the first one. Alright, so label it x1, y1 And now you're just doing what you just did above. Y minus y1 equals mx minus x1. For my river, y minus y1, which is 4, equals m, which is 2, x minus 3. Get in the house, 2x minus 6, bring everything else down. Get the negative 4 to the other side, so we're adding 4, so it's going to be y equals 2x, and then tigers meets Trojans, tigers win by 2. And there you have it. There's just one extra step between 2 points and a point and a slope. I can write linear equations given a graph. So if I'm given a graph, I can actually write this straight off the bat. Again, I'm looking for, find my slope, which is changing y over changing x. So you're going to pick 2 corners like we did when we did slope. Find 2 corners. So there's one for me and there's another. Alright, changing y, so y is minus 1. And then changing x, which is plus 4. And then go ahead and write it down. So I'm changing y is negative 1 and changing x is positive 4. Positive and a negative is a negative, and then 1 over 4. So that's my slope. What else do we need? We need my y-intercept because we're actually using y equals mx plus b. So just count those down. How many boxes down is that? That's negative 8. So my y-intercept is negative 8. So find the y-intercept, which is negative 8. And then write the equation. Y equals mx plus b. Y equals the slope, which is negative 1 over 4 x minus 8.
This is a listening check. Put a box around a graph on the left hand side. A graph, put a box around it.
So this is just like number 1 because you're given a slope and a y-intercept. So this is just like the very first one that we did because you're given the slope and the y-intercept.
This is a listening check. Go ahead and color in. This is now like number 1. Color in that bubble. This is now like number 1.
Another way you could actually do this is you could find a point. So I'm finding a point right now, and that point is negative 4, negative 7, and then now you have a point and a slope. So you could do it like the way we did it before with a point and a slope. But it's a lot faster just to find the slope and then just find the y-intercept. But if the y-intercept isn't exact, you'd go with a point and a slope.